guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm back with another painting, and actually this is using up some leftover paint that I had in my palette from my last video. I don't like to waste paint, so I decided to draw some circles on a paper about 2 inches or so, and then paint little mini abstracts. So this is almost like a grid journal, but I am just working on cardstock paper. And so I'm going in, I'm using my color blends, and what I'm actually planning to do is scan this in and digitize them and then turn them into stickers that I can use in my mixed media. So kind of like with my collage and stuff, but it'll be on sticker paper. So I am actually going to make these available for free on my website if you'd like to go download them to use yourself. And I will make sure to put the link below in the description. It'll be a letter size paper that you can print out, and they'll all be cropped and nicely arranged for you to use. So I'm going in, I wanted to do a little bit of almost like an earthy color palette, which I had kind of done with my florals, and I'm keeping a few of my colors bright. And while I'm painting here, I'm actually going over my lines a little bit so that way I can get a clean crop. So I'm purposely going outside the lines so I can get a really nice circle cut out when I work on it digitally. But what I'm trying to do is add a base color, 3 different ones to each row, and then I am going through and making different marks on each one, a lot like I do with my grid journals. So this was a really fun project for mark making practice, and I really love the color palette here, and it's a little bit unusual with some of the colors that I'm using, but I thought they all went really nicely together. So I'm trying to up my contrast with shapes. I'm adding some straight lines and squared off shapes, and then I'm also adding some circles and blobby shapes that have more curves so that there's a lot more interest. And then I'm also trying to add extra contrast to each one by putting light over dark or dark over light, however it ends up falling on the paper. And I'm just working with a small round brush and just having some fun using up my paint. I'm actually using that Bee Paper new paint palette that I got, which I really like. I have used styrofoam plates that I had left over. I've used a little plastic file folder that actually worked okay. And then I finally broke down and got the paper palette, and it actually scrapes okay. I scraped it after this, and I think I can reuse these sheets several times. I just hate the idea of getting something and then just, basically trashing it and then throwing it away. Anyway, I do really like using it though when I'm doing my paint mixing on here. It works really nicely for blending, and it's just a nice smooth surface that's non-porous, and it is pretty resistant to moisture and all of that. So now that my painting part is finished and dry, I'm going to go in and add some nice little doodles and marks and add some patterns and texture to these little paintings so that we can get some detail in there. And they're kind of simple, but I think I'm going to have a lot of fun kind of throwing these into other projects. I have, some different opportunities either in my art journals or on paintings that I do, and I could just put them down and stick them down for some extra interest. They can also be cut out as is and glued down with a glue stick, or put down with some matte media or matte gel or glossy gel if you like. You can also decorate them further yourself or use them as part of a collage or embellishment for a journal. So there's a lot of opportunity here for the circles, and they're my favorite, so I'm pretty excited to start using them. So just like I do on my journal pages and other things, if I'm working within the confines of a box, I try to have some elements kind of flowing off the page. So you'll see here I've got circles coming out from the sides, I've got shapes coming in from the sides, and then once they are all cropped, then it's going to just look like the pattern kind of continues past the border, and I really like that. So it's not all squished inside the box where you don't have anything kind of going over the border a little bit. So with the fine liner, I really love how these are just really starting to pop, and I'm adding just black marks on everything. And as per usual, I'm going to be doing the same thing with white. But what I am kind of working on exercise wise is just trying to get different marks on each. And Scampy just walked by. She always likes to come say hello when I'm working on a project. She's my art supervisor, I like to say. So I got out the Posca pen, and then I am going over some of those old shapes. And then I love how that contrast and everything just starts to pop with black and white added. It just is just, it comes right out and it sort of comes to life, I guess I could say. And I don't know. There's just something about adding the black and white at the end of something. And I know you could do other colors too, but I do love that plain white. So once again, I'm just going through here and trying to put different types of marks on each of these circles, and just getting out of my comfort zone a little bit and trying some experimenting in different shapes than I normally gravitate to. I think it helps expand your mark making vocabulary, and it's also really fun. So I'm just going through, I'm tracing over some of my shapes, which I really like to do also, and then adding some patterns in a few small areas. I hope that you like these downloads that I do. I really enjoy making them, and it's not too hard to put them up on the website. So if you have downloaded and used any of my previous items, I'd love to hear from you on how you used them or how they worked out for you. There's some collage elements and stuff on there. So, I mean, I just want it to be helpful. So hopefully you can use it for inspiration or whatever you like. And don't forget, there's also a whole bunch of art prompts on there too. So if you ever find yourself looking at a blank page and not sure what to do next, those prompts really help a lot. I should actually do a prompt video again soon. Those are really fun because you limit yourself, and sometimes when you have too many options, it's hard to choose. So being a little bit confined with choices through art prompts is actually really helpful in being more creative sometimes. So I'm finishing up the rest of my marks, and this was a fun project. I'm going to do your close-up, and then I'm also going to insert a screenshot of what the final download is going to look like when you go to the website. And you can just head over there and grab it now. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep creating.